Welcome to the SchoolEngage instructional video specific to the 2025-26 registration form. SchoolEngage is a program that allows legal guardians and independent students to submit forms and upload documents online directly to a school. This video will highlight how to navigate through and complete the new 2025-26 registration form for your child. Registration for the 25-26 school year begins on Monday, January 13th, and the first day of school is set for Tuesday, September 2nd, 2025. The Calgary Board of Education looks forward to welcoming your child in the 25-26 school year. What to know before registering your child. All students new to the CBE will register through SchoolEngage. If this is the first time your child will be registering at a CBE school, you will need to create an account through SchoolEngage before registering. If you have another child or children already attending a CBE school, you will register the new student through your existing MyCBE account or one that you will create. Note, you may register your child in kindergarten for the 2025-26 school year if your child will turn 5 years old on or before December 31st, 2025. Children must be at least 6 years old as of December 31st, 2025 to start grade 1 in the 2025-26 school year. Sign in and navigation. Sign in to SchoolEngage if your student is new to CBE. Sign in to MyCBE if you have a child or children already attending a CBE school. Begin by signing into SchoolEngage in your browser at schoolengage.cbe.ab.ca. Enter your email and password. If you do not have an account, click on Create Account. If you are an existing student or family and have a student currently enrolled in a CBE school, log into your MyCBE PowerSchool account and click on the SchoolEngage tile in middle, or select Online Forms and School Registration on the left navigation menu to open SchoolEngage. Once you've entered your email and password, click on Sign In. This will take you to the home page of SchoolEngage. You will see a notifications area to inform you of any outstanding forms or scheduled maintenance. On the left menu under Home, you will see Students, Add Student, Log Out, and Help. If you do not see students, it is because you need to add a student. Students will give you a list of the students attached to your account. Add Student will allow you to add a new student to your account. Log Out exits your session, and Help will direct you to the SchoolEngage support pages. If you are new to the CBE, you will begin by selecting Add Student to add students to your account. Click on Add Student. Enter your student's first name, last name, middle name if applicable, and date of birth. Once you have added your student's information, click on Save. Now that you have added your student to your account, you now see Students on the left-hand menu. Click on Students and select the student for which you wish to complete a registration form. This will take you to the Forms page for that individual student. On the right, there will be a list of forms to complete registration. Depending on your student's registration situation, select New beside the applicable registration form. Please take note that there are registration forms for families to complete for the current year. Registration 2024-25 kindergarten and registration 2024-25 grade 1 to 12. Only select one of these forms if you wish for your student to be enrolled in the current school year. For families wishing to enroll their student for September 2025, please select one of the 2025-26 registration next school year forms. So there is a registration 2025-26 kindergarten and a registration 2025-26 grade 1 to 12. Forms for the 25-26 school year have the ability to apply for either an alternative program or a regular program school. In this video, we will be completing a 2025-26 kindergarten registration form. The grade 1 to 12 registration is almost exactly the same as the kindergarten form, with just a few minor additional selections in the kindergarten form. By clicking on this little caret to the left of each form, it opens up additional information, letting the parent know this form is a legal document and must be completed in its entirety by a legal guardian or parent for each kindergarten child registering for ECS in a school in the Calgary Board of Education. There's also some really important information here about schools in a lottery and alternative programs. So you would use this form to register your kindergarten age child for the 25-26 school year, which begins in September 2025. By noon on February 11th, 2025 for schools in a lottery. So that is the deadline for any school in the lottery for which you wish to apply for. Also, acceptance is not based on the order in which the form is received. You can also click on anything blue inside the form or on the home page to take you to these links. So you can click on registration and it will open up a new tab and go to the registration page for the CBE. You could also click on lottery to find out more information about what is lottery, the lottery process, schools with a program in lottery, and overflow schools. So you can click on each one of those, learn more underneath those headings to learn more information. Click on New to open the registration form. At the top of the form, you will see Calgary Board of Education and the year of the form. Next, you will see the name of the form and the year, and then your student's name. In the top right is the parent or legal guardian name, or an independent student if the independent student is filling out the form. Across the top are the chapters or tabs of the sections in the registration form. Under that are the steps for each chapter or tab. There are 4 steps on the demographic information chapter. To the right, under chapters, there's a green save button to save the current page and arrows beside the save to allow you to navigate to the previous page or the next page. The current page must be completed before proceeding to the next page. At the bottom of the page, there are options to go to the next page by clicking on Next. Once you are past the first page, there will also be a previous button at the bottom left to go back to the previous page. Demographic information, step 1. Enrollment information. As the largest school district in Western Canada, the Calgary Board of Education offers a depth and breadth of programs and supports to meet the unique learning needs and interests of an increasingly diverse population. In addition to responsive and inclusive programming in all CBE schools, we provide opportunities for children to learn in unique settings and outreach programs. Every child should have the opportunity to succeed personally and academically, no matter their background, identity, or personal circumstances. Central to our work is the design of learning and instruction that allows for each child to be engaged, inspired, and learn to their full potential. Pre-screening information. We want to be sure this is the correct form for your registration situation. As such, we have a few questions before you begin completing the form. First, is this child currently attending a CBE school? If you select yes and your child is currently attending a CBE school, a pop-up message will appear stating you do not need to complete a new registration form as your child is already currently enrolled and you can exit this form. If you answered this by mistake, click on Return to this form and select No, your child is not currently attending a CBE school. Is this registration for kindergarten in the 2025-26 school year? If you select No, the pop-up will appear again, stopping the form. If your child is not in kindergarten, you would proceed to the home page and fill out the grade 1 to 12 registration form. We are going to say yes, our child is entering kindergarten in the 25-26 school year. Enrollment conditions. A child in an early childhood services kindergarten program is not a resident student, as clarified in sections 3, 4, and 21 of the Education Act. Administrative Regulation 6090, Child and Student Registration at Admission, states a child may be enrolled in an ECS program consistent with section 6.9 of this regulation with the following conditions: whose parent resides in Alberta, who attains the age of 5 years of age as of December 31st at the commencement of the fall term of that calendar year. However, enrollment in ECS does not guarantee enrollment in grade 1 in the CBE. For transition to grade 1 under the Education Act, a child is considered to be a resident of the CBE if at least one of the legal guardians or parents with day-to-day care of the child resides in the boundaries of CBE, and at least one of them is not of the Roman Catholic faith. So then we have questions about residing within CBE boundaries and declaration of Roman Catholic faith. By signing below, I declare that either all legal guardians or parents do not reside within CBE boundaries, or at least one legal guardian or parent reside within CBE boundaries. Declaration of Roman Catholic faith. Section 4 of the Education Act requires school divisions to gather confirmation from parents, as defined in the Act, if they are of the Roman Catholic faith. This information will not impact your registration for kindergarten, but it will be reviewed at the end of the ECS programming for transition to grade 1. So, are all legal guardians or parents with day-to-day care of the child of the Roman Catholic faith? If at least one parent is not of the Roman Catholic faith, select no. If both parents are of the Roman Catholic faith, select yes. And again, understanding that enrollment in ECS does not guarantee enrollment in grade 1 in the CBE. Signature. This form should be completed by the legal guardian of the child. Please enter your first and last name in the legal guardian, parent name, and signature fields. The names must match in order to proceed. Click Next. Demographic information. Step 2, required documents. The following documentation will be required before the registration form can be processed. 1. Child identification that includes age, legal name, and citizenship. 2. Proof of address document. 3. A selfie with a legal guardian or parent government-issued photo identification. And 4. Where the parents of the child do not live together, documentation that confirms guardianship. The details of the required documents are included in this form when you are asked to upload them. You will also see some exceptions when you are not able to attach required documents. Provide an explanation in the Please Explain box that will appear. Some examples could be children's in shelters or natural disaster or displacement from home. Anything outside of the approved documents would need to be discussed with the principal of the school where you are registering. And then we can click on Next or the arrow beside Save in the top right to go to the next page. Demographic information, Step 3, child information. Enter your child's legal last name, legal first name, legal middle name, and date of birth. If your child wishes to be referred to by a name other than their legal first or last name, complete the preferred last name and preferred first name fields. Legal name and preferred name cannot be the same. If this child does not have a preferred name, please leave the preferred fields blank. Both first and last name must be provided for preferred names. Note, child must be at least 5 years old by December 31st, 2025, and must not be 6 years old by September 1st, 2025 to register for kindergarten. Child information, enter the child's legal last name, their legal first name, and their legal middle name as it appears on their identification document. Please use the naming convention of the first letter uppercase and the rest lowercase. If your child wishes to be referred to by a name other than their legal first or last name, complete the preferred last name and preferred first name fields. Legal name and preferred name cannot be the same. Both first and last name must be provided for preferred name. So I'll enter in a preferred name. And again, that pop-up appears letting us know that legal name and preferred name cannot be the same. If this child does not have a preferred name, please leave these fields blank. And both the first and last name must be provided, so I'll enter a preferred first name. So my child wishes to go by John as their first name instead of their legal name, Jonathan. Enter their birth date by either entering the month, day, year, or clicking on the calendar here to the right. And again, a pop-up will appear. Child must be at least 5 years old by December 31st, 2025, and must not be 6 years old by September 1st, 2025 to register. So I'm going to select 2020 February, and then clicking on the date of birth. Gender, male, female, or unspecified, please select 1 and click on Next. Demographic information, step 4, child contact information. Enter your family primary phone number and provide the address of the legal guardian or parent where the child lives full-time. If the child lives with legal guardians that do not live together, the legal guardians must choose one address to use as the child's primary residence. Helpful tip, see the note for address entry formats. For example, do not include hashtags or special characters. If there is an apartment number or suite, enter numeric characters only before street address. Child contact information. Enter your family primary phone number. Again, looking at that note for the address entry format. If there's no apartment or unit, just enter the address as shown in this example. Or if there is an apartment or unit, please use this example, entering the apartment number first without a hyphen or with a hyphen. So clicking on the street field in address, start typing your address, and a pop-up menu will appear to be able to select your address from the drop-down menu. As you can see, by selecting my address from the drop-down, it automatically populates my city, province, postal code, and home community. Child mailing address. If my mailing address is different than my physical address, I can enter it here. However, if it is the same, I can click on Copy from Primary Address to populate these fields from above. Proof of address. The proof of address must have the parent or legal guardian name and current address. Some examples of accepted proof of address are listed here. Anything outside of these approved listed documents would need to be discussed with the principal of the school where you are registering. So we want to say, yes, I have a proof of address to upload, and a new field appears, Upload Requires Proof of Address Document. Click on Upload Required, select your file category, Proof of Address, and you can either drop files here or click on Browse to browse your device to find the document to upload. You will now see the proof of address document uploaded to the form, including the name of the parent who uploaded the document and a timestamp. Over to the right, you will see a blue view icon, a convert icon, and a trash or delete icon. Please click on View to view your document to ensure it is legible to the office staff. If it is not legible, you can either convert it or delete it to upload a new file. Demographic information, step 4, school information, regular program. Most CBE schools offer a regular program, and more than 80% of all students are enrolled in regular programs. All schools teach according to Alberta Education's mandated curriculum. However, a school's focus, optional courses, and school activities are as unique as every school. We encourage you to explore your designated regular program school's website to find out more. Alternative program. An alternative education program emphasizes a particular language. CBE currently offers French, Spanish, Mandarin, and German, or subject matter, or uses a particular teaching philosophy, all while following the Alberta curriculum. So inside the form under school information, designated alternative program preference. Again, an alternative program is a program that emphasizes a particular language, culture, or subject matter, or uses a particular teaching philosophy. All other programs fall under the regular program umbrella. For a full list of alternative programs, visit CBE's Program Options webpage. So by clicking on that blue font, it will open up a new tab and take you to the Program Options page on the Calgary Board of Education website. Are you wishing to apply for an alternative program? Please select yes or no. If you select yes, more information and fields will appear below. Alternative program information. Visit the school's website for further information, including the school email address, if communication is necessary. An expression of interest done by selecting at least one alternative program below is required for consideration to attend an alternative program in the Calgary Board of Education. All expressions of interest are based on priority lists, as stated in Administrative Regulation 6090, Child and Student Registration and Admission. Completing an expression of interest does not guarantee acceptance into an alternative program. Registration will not occur until a family receives an offer of acceptance and confirmation of acceptance. And acceptance into a kindergarten program does not guarantee registration in grade 1. As a reminder, complete this form and attach requested documentation and submit by noon on February 11th, 2025 for schools in a lottery, and until further notice for all other alternative programs not in a lottery. So again, if the school is in a lottery, whether it's regular program or alternative program, please ensure your application is submitted by noon on February 11th, 2025. Alternative program preference 1. Note, an expression of interest requires at least one alternative program selection. It may have up to 3 selected alternative program choices. Also, please note that these selections are not ranked in order, even though they say preference 1, 2, and 3. They will each be considered equally. Alternative program first choice. Clicking in the field, select the alternative program you wish to apply at. Designated alternative program school. This will be based on your home address and the program selected, and you should only see one school. If you wish to apply at more than one alternative program, please complete the alternative program preference 2. Clicking in the alternative program second choice field, select your second choice. Again, they are not ranked, they'll all be considered equally. And then the designated alternative program school second choice field, and select your school based on your address. You have up to 3 alternative program choices. So if you'd like to select a third choice, click on the alternative program third choice field and select your program, and again, the program school based on your address. Alternative program declaration. In order to apply for an alternative program, parents or legal guardians must declare that they have read and understand the information regarding the alternative program in which they have expressed interest, that they understand if a lottery process is utilized and my child's name is not drawn, my child will be enrolled in a designated regular program school based on the child's address. Understand that I will receive any notifications, outcomes by email. I understand that there are additional fees and/or volunteer commitments associated with the alternative program. If I am unable to pay these fees, I will apply for a waiver. And I have read and understood the transportation information and fees. Kindergarten schooling preference, designated regular program. Please click on the designated regular program school field, which will populate the designated regular program school. Sometimes families of kindergarten children want to submit a registration form to more than one ECS program. Administrative Regulation 6090, Child and Student Registration and Admission, allows for this to occur. So the next question is, would you like your child to attend your designated regular program school? So do I want my child to attend Auburn-based school if they do not get acceptance or offered placement at any one of the alternative program schools I have applied at? Would you like your child to attend your designated regular program school? Yes or no? By selecting no, it opens up more information and fields. This is the out of attendance area regular program preference. The principal will consult with the superintendent of school improvement or a delegate to determine if space and resources are available in the requested ECS program. The priority order for admission of a child is as follows. Priority 1, a child residing in the attendance area of the school. Priority 2, older siblings enrolled at the school or in the program concurrently. Priority 3, other Alberta child, and priority 4, other Canadian child. You are asked to identify the school where you would like to submit a registration form. Admittance to a school is not about preference, but rather by priority as defined above. Regular program school preference. Please select the school that you wish your child to attend from the drop-down menu. Scheduling preference. For schools offering morning or afternoon, which would you prefer? For schools offering alternating days, which would you prefer? Monday, Wednesday, or Tuesday, Thursday? Again, this is only for those schools who offer those scheduling preferences. And click Next. Citizenship. Step 5, child citizenship. Families of students who are not Canadian citizens, even if they have attended school elsewhere in Canada, will submit the registration form in SchoolEngage. Welcome Center staff will contact you to arrange an appointment to complete the registration. This includes permanent residents, refugee claimants, children of lawfully admitted temporary residents, parents or guardians on work permits or study permits, or parent legal guardian is a permanent resident or Canadian and their child is not. Please ensure to upload all of the required documents so as not to delay the application. Language. Select from the drop-down your primary language spoken at home. Child citizenship. Child is a Canadian citizen. Please complete the registration form. If your child is not a Canadian citizen, please complete the registration form as well. But in addition, your registration will be managed through the CBE's Welcome Center. The Welcome Center will contact you to finalize your applications. And if you have any questions at all regarding your application or documents needed, please email the Welcome Center by clicking on this link or call their phone number. Please select one of the child's citizenship: Canadian citizen, permanent resident, temporary resident, or other. Select their birth country, and do you have a citizenship document to upload? Selecting yes will open up more information and fields. Please note, attaching the required documents may expedite processing of this registration form. So we need a Canadian citizenship document. We have a red upload required button, and we also have some acceptable proof of identification documents. If a Canadian birth certificate is not available, the school can accept a Canadian passport, Canadian citizenship certificate or card, Canadian Indigenous status card, or a Canadian court order that states the legal name and age or date of birth of the child. The school cannot accept a document from another country, a Canadian federal government record of landing, or a Canadian federal government permanent resident card, permanent resident record, or confirmation of permanent residence. So we'll click on the Upload Required red button, choose our file category, and from the list here, we will choose one of the Canadian or Alberta documents. So I will select the Alberta birth certificate, and I can drop my files here in this red highlighted box or click on Browse to browse my device. Again, my attachment will appear with what it is named on my device, the parent who uploaded it with a timestamp. And again, I have my icons on the right to view, convert, or delete. And click Next. Medical and status. Step 6, child medical information. If the child's attendance at school may be affected by an existing medical or physical condition, it is your responsibility to complete and attach the student health plan. Helpful tip: download the student health plan from the Forms You Need link inside the form. So we are now on the medical and status chapter, step 6, child medical information. Here is that Forms You Need link where you can click and open a new tab. Scrolling down to student medical, the student health plan is the very last one. Clicking on this PDF, you can autofill all of the information, save it to your device, and come back and upload it to the registration form. So does the child have any medical or physical conditions that may affect their attendance at school? Yes or no? Selecting yes will open up more fields. Does the child have any life-threatening allergies? I can select yes and provide a brief description, such as an allergy. Do you have a completed student health plan to upload? If you have already completed the student health plan and saved it to your device, you can click on yes and click on Upload Required, choose the health plan file category and drop your file here, or you can select no to provide the student health plan to the school at a later date and click Next. Medical and status, step 7, Francophone eligibility. The exercise of Francophone eligibility rights refers to instruction in a Francophone school, not a French immersion school. According to the Education Act and Section 23 of the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms, a student is eligible for instruction in a Francophone school if at least one parent is a Canadian citizen and one of the following 3 conditions exist. Either parent's first language learned and still understood as French, either parent has received their primary school instruction in Canada in French, or one or more of the parent's children has received or is receiving primary or secondary instruction in French in Canada. So step 7 in the medical and status chapter, does your child have Francophone eligibility? Please select yes or no and click Next. Medical and status, step 8, Indigenous self-identification, optional. If you wish to declare the student as Indigenous, please select 1, First Nation status, First Nation non-status, Métis, or Inuit. If you've made a selection in error, click on Clear to remove it. For further information, refer to the links below and click on Next. Medical and status, step 9, previous CBE school. In order to make certain that a student record is not duplicated for your child, we need to know if they have ever registered in the CBE or if they have ever attended a preschool or school with an early childhood provider. Please complete these questions in detail. Step 9, previous CBE school. Has your child ever registered in a school in the Calgary Board of Education? Yes, we'll open up a field to put in the name of a CBE school. If they have not attended the CBE, please select no. Has the child attended a preschool or school with an early childhood provider? Selecting yes will open up more fields for a previous non-CBE school. And I can click on next. Medical and status, step 10, child learning needs. Student success is our top priority, and we understand that our students live complex lives and that many factors, both in the school and outside of school, can affect their ability to learn. We offer a variety of services to support students, their families, and our schools, so students can be successful learners. Please complete the following questions in full detail in order for the school to have a better understanding of your child's learning needs. So step 10, child learning needs. Has the child ever had an individual program plan, IPP, individual education plan, IEP, or had a learning, medical, or mental health assessment that has provided recommendations to support the child's learning? Yes will open up more fields. Selecting no will remove all of those fields. And the last question, are there any language needs or other unique learning needs we should know in order to support the child's learning? Here, this field is free flow text, so feel free to enter anything that will help the school with information for your child's needs and to support their learning. Click next, contacts and family. Step 11. Legal guardians, parents, others. All legal guardians must be included on the registration form, whether the guardians live together or not. A legal guardian may be a parent or other person who is legally responsible for the well-being of the child and makes important decisions for the child. Parent legal guardian is defined in Section 1.2 of the Education Act. Helpful tip. In the case where the parents of the child do not live together, documentation that confirms guardianship will be required. So we are now on the contacts and family chapter, step 11. Legal guardians, parents, others. If there's more than one legal guardian, include the information for each guardian on this form, where the guardians live together or not. So it is important to include all legal guardians on the registration form. The definition of a legal guardian is found in the Education Act, Section 1.2. Also, set the phone preferences using the call order. Select one for the preferred phone number. Please provide a minimum of 2 emergency contacts. They may be legal guardians, non-legal guardians, or a combination of both. Custody and guardianship documents. In the case where the parents of the child do not live together, documentation that confirms guardianship will be required. Custody and guardianship documents fall into one of the following categories: joint shared custody or parenting, sole custody parenting, decision-making authority, and delegation of powers and duties to a child caregiver. More information for each one of these custody and guardianship categories is included in this area. Legal Guardian 1. You will see there's an option to copy from previous application. However, this option only allows you to copy Legal Guardian 1 section from a previously submitted registration 2526 kindergarten form. So enter the legal first name of the first legal guardian and the legal last name. Relationship to child. Clicking on the field opens a drop-down menu to select the relationship to the child. So I will select mother. Legal guardian, yes or no. If I select no, I will get a warning message. If you would like to add a non-legal guardian, please add them on the next page. This section is for legal guardians only. So for non-legal guardians, I would add them to step 12. Step 11 is for legal guardians only. So I will select yes. Emergency contact. A legal guardian does not need to be an emergency contact. However, if you wish to be, please select yes. Assigning a priority level contact order. So who do you wish the school office staff to contact first? This is the contact order. So So I will say mom will be contacted second. Language interpretation. Is language interpretation required? Yes or no? Selecting yes will open up a primary language spoken at home field where you can select the language from the drop-down. I will select no, I do not need an interpreter. Legal Guardian 1 custody information. Is there an emergency protection order on mom? Yes or no? Selecting yes will open up the court order field, and a court order must be provided for an EPO. Mom does not have an emergency protection order, so I will select no. Legal guardians' parents live together. I can select yes if the legal guardians live together or no if they do not. Selecting no will open up a court order field. If there is a court order, select yes and proceed to select the custody, sole custody parenting, joint shared custody parenting, or delegation of authority. Again, referring to the top of the page for some more information on each one of those categories. And a copy of any court order must be provided to CBE. This will expedite the processing of the registration form. So the next question, I have a court order to upload at this time, yes or no? No, a please explain box is required to be filled out, or yes, will allow for the upload required red button to appear, which you can then click on, select the file category court order, and then of course, drop your files here. If I go back up and say, no, I do not have a court order, it will produce a field. If there are no court orders, a brief written summary of the current family status is required. So I could put in, for example, 50-50 custody. The school will be in touch to confirm the custody details. And then of course, a written summary effective date. So that can be the date where the legal guardians no longer live together, today's date, or whenever that 50-50 custody arrangement took place. And you can type in the month, day, year, or select from the calendar by clicking on the calendar icon to the right. You can also click on clear to clear out the legal guardian's parents live together fields to start over. And it may take a few moments to clear out all of the fields beneath. But if the legal guardian's parents do live together, you can select yes. Legal Guardian 1 phones. Home phone. There is now an option inside the form if the home phone is international. By selecting either the home phone, work phone, or mobile phone is international, it will allow extra characters to be entered in the phone number field. If the home phone number, work phone number, or mobile phone is not international, please do not check this box. At least one phone number must be entered. Home phone call order preference. So this box is, what number should I call first? The contact order was who should I contact first? And now it's asking which number should I call first in case of an emergency. And my home phone, I'm going to say to call second, because I am more likely to answer my cell phone when I am not at home. I do not have a work phone, so I can skip that one. And then I'm going to enter my mobile phone. And again, my mobile phone call order preference would be first. So I want the school to call my cell phone first and my home second if they can't reach me on my cell phone. Email address. This field is required. In order for the parent or legal guardian to receive email notifications via SchoolEngage or School Messenger once the child is registered at a CBE school, or for the parent to be able to create a MyCBE account, an email address must be provided. The email address must match the email address being used to create your MyCBE account. Legal Guardian 1 resident. Lives with child, yes or no, and same address as child. So I will say lives with child, yes, it will default to yes. Same address as child, it does default to no for the case where legal guardians do not live together. This is an area where you can enter a second address for a second legal guardian. For legal guardian 1, I will say yes to same address as child. If this is a sole legal guardian family where there is only one legal guardian, and some examples can include the other legal guardian is deceased or there is no other legal guardian, please select the I am a sole legal guardian family, and it will remove the legal guardian 2 field. So if you are a sole legal guardian family, please return up to the top and select legal guardian's parents live together, no, which will allow the court order or written summary fields to appear for you to complete. All legal guardians must be included on this form, So I am going to enter the legal guardian 2 information, the legal guardian first name and their last name. Relationship to the child, please select from the drop-down. Legal guardian, yes. Emergency contact can be yes or no. Assign a contact priority level. So I know that mom is contact 2, so the school will contact her second. So I will enter dad as first. Language interpretation, do I require an interpreter? Yes or no? Does dad have an emergency protection order? Yes or no? Legal guardian's parents live together. By answering no, other fields will open up. And then the phone numbers. So I can enter a home phone number for dad, and the call order will be second. I want the home phone number to be called second and my work phone number to be called first. Dad does not have a cell phone, so I will proceed to email address, and the email address is required. Lives with child, yes. Same address as child, yes. There is an option to add a third legal guardian if applicable. Please check the I need to add another legal guardian if there is a third legal guardian. And once this page is complete in its entirety, you can click on the arrow beside save to go to the next page or next at the bottom. Contacts and family, step 12, additional emergency contacts. In addition to the legal guardians listed as emergency contacts on step 11, you have the option to enter additional emergency contacts who are non-legal guardians on this page. For example, step-parent, babysitter, grandparent, etc. Helpful tip. Legal guardians or parents are not to be entered on this page again. This is if you wish to identify others as emergency contacts. Note, assign a priority level. Who should the school contact first, second, etc. to each contact in the contact order field. 1 number per contact. So we are now on step 12 under the contacts and family chapter. Additional emergency contacts. If non-legal guardians are not required, you can check this box and proceed to the next page. If you wish to add non-legal guardians, please keep that box blank. And also another note, please do not enter the legal guardians on this page. This is for non-legal guardians only, such as a step-parent, babysitter, relatives, friends, neighbors, etc. So non-legal guardian 1. Again, the copy from previous application, if we had already submitted a 25-26 kindergarten form, and I have not done so, so I will enter the legal guardian first name and the legal last name and the relationship to the child. So I will say this is a grandparent. Legal guardian, if we say yes, it is going to give us a warning that this section is for non-legal guardians only, and I cannot continue. So if you have to add another legal guardian, go back to step 11. So you must select no to legal guardian, emergency contact, yes or no, and of course, assign a contact priority order. So I know mom was contact 2, mom was going to be contacted second, dad was going to be contacted first, so I will put grandma as third. Permission to pick up child from school. If this is an emergency contact, yes must be checked. Release of information form. A release of information is only needed if giving this person access to your child's educational information. For example, student record, assessments, programs, attendance, and more. If you wish to share this information with a non-legal guardian, please select yes. If yes, has the form been discussed and signed by both certificated school staff and legal guardian or parent? Yes or no. So this discussion will need to happen with the school staff, and a release of information form will need to be completed by the legal guardian. If you do not wish to share the information with a non-legal guardian, select no to release of information. Enter a home phone, work phone, or mobile phone for the non-legal guardian. So I'm only going to put 1 phone number down for grandma, so please contact that phone number first. An email address is not required for a non-legal guardian, as non-legal guardians are not permitted to create MyCB accounts, and they will not be notified via email. However, there is one exception. If this is a foster parent or a group home caseworker, please enter an email address and they will be able to receive email notifications. They will not be permitted to create a MyCB account. So I'm going to leave that email address blank. Also, another note, please do not enter an email address that matches a legal guardian for a non-legal guardian, as it will prevent you from being able to create a MyCB account. Only legal guardians are permitted to create a MyCB account. Second non-legal guardian. Families can have up to 7 contacts. If they wish to have another non-legal guardian, please proceed to fill out the below information. If you do not need any more non-legal guardians, check I do not need another non-legal guardian box, and it will remove those fields below. Once this page is completed, click Next. Contacts and family, step 13, sibling information. Siblings can be connected in the student information system. If you wish to, please provide the other children's CBE school information. Important. If your alternative or regular program is in lottery, please be sure to fill out any relevant sibling information as it may impact priority lists. So step 13 of the Contacts and Family chapter is the optional sibling information. Again, it is very important to fill out any sibling information if the school is in a lottery, as it will impact priority lists. If the school is not in a lottery and you do not wish to include sibling information, you can leave this blank and continue on to the next page. If you do want to enter sibling information, whether the school is in lottery or just for informational purposes for the school, please enter the sibling's legal first and last name in the first field, the CBE school they're currently attending, and their grade level, and click Next. Declaration, step 14, declaration. Submit a selfie photo of yourself holding your government-issued photo identification, for example, a driver's license. The ID must be clear enough to read. Review the declaration page in its entirety and ensure you have captured all required information as indicated in the undersigned bullet points. Before you submit the form, review what you have entered and correct any mistakes. Save, but do not submit the form if you have questions. Once you submit, you cannot change information in this application, but you may continue to upload required documents. So on the final chapter declaration, step 14, to confirm the identity of the person completing this form, we ask that you submit a selfie. Here's an example over here to the right, holding your government-issued photo identification. It must be clear enough to read in your photo. So do you have your government-issued photo identification to upload? Yes or no? Select yes, and click on the Upload Required button under Government Issued Photo Identification. Select the file category, Photo ID, and in the highlighted area, you can drop files or click inside the box to select your document from your device. And here I have my attachment, my selfie identification, the timestamp of when I uploaded it, and I can view it to make sure it's legible, convert it, or delete it. Check the undersigned box to hereby represent that I have the legal authority to register the student identified on this form. I have identified all legal guardians or parents for the student. I declare the information that I have provided on this form is complete and accurate. I will immediately notify the school of any changes to the information on this form. I consent to the execution of this form by way of electronic signature, typed name in the signature field here at the bottom, and agree that any such electronically delivered signature shall be valid and deemed to constitute an original. So we'll check that box after reading all of that. And again, we will enter our name and the signature field. Freedom of information and protection of privacy. The personal information requested on this form is collected under the authority of Alberta's Freedom of Information and Protection of Privacy, FOIP Act, the Education Act and its regulations, and the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms, Section 23. This information will be used for the maintenance of the child's record for a school board's obligation to provide children with an education program that meets their needs, to provide a safe and secure school environment, and other purposes that relate directly to and are necessary for an operating program or activity, including program placement, determination of eligibility and or suitability for provincial or federal funding, contact and health-related information in the event of problems or emergencies. Personal information may also be provided to the Minister of Education for the purpose of carrying out programs, activities, or policies under their administration. For example, research, statistical analysis. This information will be treated in accordance with the privacy protection provisions of the FOIP Act. And for further details, you can click on the FOIP link. If you have any questions about the information required on this form, we ask you to contact the school or the Welcome Center if your child is not a Canadian citizen. And some important notes here at the bottom. Before you submit, we ask that you review what you have entered and correct any mistakes. Save up here in the top right and not submit down here at the bottom if you have any questions at all. Because once you submit, you cannot change any information in the application. You're no longer able to edit. You are able to continue to upload additional required documents once you submit the form. And also, processing of applications is slower during the summer when schools are closed. If your child is not a Canadian citizen, our Welcome Centre will contact you directly. If your child is a Canadian citizen, the school will contact you when their office reopens toward the end of August. Once the registration form has been submitted, the application will be subject to a review of the information and documents provided. So if you are confident that all information is correct and included on the form, you can proceed with submit. If you still have questions and need to edit anything inside the form, please click on save and make those corrections. Once your form is ready, you can submit by clicking on this green submit button at the bottom. A pop-up will appear, the application was successfully submitted, and with a message to confirm that the student registration form has been submitted and received. Processing of this registration cannot be completed until after February 12th, 2025, so after the lottery. Even for schools who are not in the lottery, all schools need to wait until after February 12th to process the forms. Staff at the school will contact you regarding the student registration form if they have any questions. We appreciate your patience as we process all of our new registrations, and you can click OK. If the school contacts you and asks for you to upload additional documentation, you can do this by going to the menu on the left, clicking on Students, and selecting the student for which you need to upload additional documentation. We can see here that there is a green 1 form beside the kindergarten registration for 25-26, letting us know this form was submitted. If we scroll down here, we can see a table is now being created where we can open the form, but we cannot edit it because it's been submitted. Shows us when we created the form, the status of the form, which is submitted. Once it has been approved by the school, that status will update to approved. And here is the Upload Files button. If you are required to upload additional files for the school, please click on Upload Files. It will show you all of the attachments that you have already uploaded to the registration form. You can click on File Category and select from the drop-down a category. Maybe the school wants us to upload a court order. I can click on Canadian Court Order, and then I can simply drop my files here or browse my device to upload that file. And once I have done that, I now see it is included in the attachments on the registration form. And I can just close this pop-up window. Conclusion, SchoolEngage support pages. Technical support is available for students and parents on the SchoolEngage support pages at cbe.ab.ca/support, or by simply clicking on Help on the left-hand menu in SchoolEngage. So whether you're inside the form or on the home page, the Help button here on the left menu will take you to the support pages of SchoolEngage. And this is the technical support for students and parents. You will see the updated video here to the right, broken down into chapters. Select the individual links below to see how to complete specific sections of the registration form, or you can watch the entire video for completing the registration form from start to finish by clicking on the play button. If you need support with creating an account, adding a student, completing a form, registering a new student, profile, form status, demographic verification form, expression of interest form, helpful tips and frequently asked questions, the CBE student ID number, and the CBE parent account helpline, please click on one of these links to the left. These pages are also available if you scroll up to the top and hover over SchoolEngage, and you will see all of these pages listed here. This concludes the instructional video for the 25-26 registration form. Thank you.